Congratulations! You've purchased one of the most intelligent, accessible, and convenient Bluetooth-enabled locks on the market today. Your Schlage Sense Smart Deadbolt is not only simple to install and use with access codes, it also works with Apple HomeKit and can be operated with your iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. And with Siri voice control, you can manage entry to your home with unparalleled ease using your smartphone as your new key. This video will show you how to install and set up your lock. Let's get started. If you'll be connecting your lock to a smart device, now would be a good time to take a moment and download the Schlage Sense application that'll be used to operate and manage your lock. It also contains other valuable information and resources that you'll find helpful. First, make sure you have a compatible device and operating system. HomeKit requires an iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch with an operating system 8.4 or later. To check this, go to the home screen, tap Settings, General, then About. We recommend that you update to the latest version of iOS. Now, to get the app, search the App Store for Schlage Sense and download it. You'll need to complete your installation and setup before attempting to add a new lock in the application. Before we begin, here are a few important tips to ensure a successful installation. First, follow the installation steps in order. Second, wait to install the batteries until instructed to do so, as this initiates a setup sequence that's needed after you've installed the lock. Finally, don't worry if you make a mistake. Your lock has a built-in factory reset option. Performing the reset process is simple and returns your lock to its original factory settings. And if you're moving the lock to a new door, you'll need to reset the lock. Look to your user guide or additional videos like this one for more information. Now, let's take a look at the tools you'll need. If you have a standard door that's properly prepared to current industry standards, the only tools you'll need are a tape measure, a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, and a flathead screwdriver. If you'll be using the drive-in bolt, you'll also need a hammer and a block of wood. We'll cover that later. You can use a power screwdriver, but please do not use an electric or cordless drill to tighten screws, as it could easily strip the threads or even damage the lock. Now, we're going to create a checklist of the questions we'll need answered. If you can't check off everything on the list, you may need to adjust the door or frame. Let's start by taking a look at your current door and frame to make sure they're properly aligned and that the holes are properly drilled for your new lock. Because your Schlage Sense has an automatic motorized deadbolt, it's important that the door and jamb are properly aligned. Let's test your current lock. You should be able to lock the door without pushing, pulling, or lifting the door, and your door alignment should stay the same in changing weather conditions. Now, remove any existing lock and check your door and frame dimensions. Check to make sure you have a minimum of 5 inches between the center of the deadbolt hole and the center of any other door latch below the deadbolt. Check to make sure the cross-bore diameter measures 2 1/8 inches or 1.5 inches. That the back set measures either 2 3/8 inches or 2 3/4 inches from the door edge to the center of the crossbore. That the latch bore measures 1 inch in diameter. And that the thickness of the door is between 1 3/8 inches and 1 3/4 inches. If your door is thicker than 1 3/4 inches, you can purchase a custom door kit. Contact customer service for assistance. Finally, check to make sure that the hole drilled into the door jamb is at least 1 inch deep for the deadbolt. If you can't check off everything on this list or need additional information, we're here to help. Visit us online at schlage.com or call customer service at 888-805-9837. Now that your door is ready to go, let's take a look at the components of your lock. The document package contains your installation instructions and user guide, the touchscreen assembly, the hardware package, and finally, the alarm assembly. Now, take a moment to locate your user guide. On the cover, you'll find important codes that you'll use later to complete your installation. Make sure to store your user guide in a safe and convenient location for future reference. If you ever misplace your user guide, these codes can also be found on the back of the alarm assembly. Once unpacked, take a moment to locate and identify all the parts of your lock shown here. You'll be installing the bolt first. The bolt comes with a pre-attached rectangular faceplate with rounded corners, but you can change to an optional drive-in faceplate if your door calls for it. Remember the back set measurements you took earlier to determine the proper bolt length? If your door has a back set of 2 3/8 inches, no adjustment is necessary. If your door's back set is 2 3/4 inches, the bolt can easily be adjusted by simply twisting the faceplate as shown here. If you're using the rectangular faceplate, simply slide the bolt into place with the word top on the bolt facing upward and secure it with the 2 shorter screws provided. If your door requires the round drive-in faceplate, simply replace the rectangular faceplate with the round plate provided. Refer to your installation guide for details. With the bolt retracted, tap the bolt into place flush with the edge of the door using a block of wood to protect the bolt. Now, install the strike into the door frame. Install the reinforcement plate first, making sure the plate is oriented to the door correctly as indicated on the plate. Secure the plate with the long reinforcement screws. Your lock comes with an optional strike reinforcement plate. Installing this plate will strengthen your door frame and add additional security to your home, but may require some additional work to the door jamb. And if you have a side light, you may need to use shorter screws. Install the strike plate over the reinforcement plate using the 2 shorter screws. Before we move on, let's check to make sure the bolt and strike are properly aligned. From the inside, close the door and test by inserting the flathead screwdriver into the slot in the bolt. Rotate the screwdriver a full 90 degrees toward the door edge to extend the bolt. The bolt should smoothly and fully extend to the strike. If not, you'll need to adjust your strike or jamb until the bolt moves freely. Next, install the touchscreen assembly on the outside of the door. Make sure the bolt is retracted and flush with the edge of the door before you begin. If your crossbore measured less than 2 1/8 inches, you will need to remove the snap and stay bracket before continuing. To do this, simply remove the attachment screw, rotate and remove the bracket. Feed the cable under the bolt, aligning the tailpiece with the slot in the bolt and snap the assembly in place. Snap and stay clips will help hold the touchscreen in place. Now, position the support plate on the inside of the door as indicated by the written markings, top and against door. Route the cable through the slot at the bottom and secure the plate with the 2 large screws provided. Before fully tightening the screws, check to ensure the touchscreen and support plate are straight. To install the inside assembly, remove the battery cover by pushing up, but leave the battery tray in place. Be careful not to touch the circuit board, which could damage the lock. Then, connect the cable to the inside assembly, matching the white dot on the connector with the white dot on the circuit board. Route the cable into the channel provided to keep it from getting pinched or crimped. Align the tailpiece with the slot on the back of the inside assembly and slide the assembly toward the door and onto the support plate. Secure the inside assembly to the support plate, inserting the lower and longer screw first. Then the short screw at the top. Do not attempt to turn the thumb turn at this point. For your lock to function properly, the bolt must remain retracted until the setup is initiated. Now unsnap the connector and remove the battery tray. Insert the batteries, ensuring proper polarity. Then carefully replace the battery tray with the batteries facing the door. Reattach the battery connector and replace the battery cover. Your installation is almost complete. Now you just need to set up and test the lock. To set up the lock, open the door and press the Schlage button on the touch screen. Enter one of the default 4-digit access codes provided on your user guide. The lock will perform a setup routine. Wait until the bolt stops moving before continuing. Now that the setup's complete, let's test your installation. First, let's check to see if the thumb turn and bolt are moving freely. Make sure the bolt's retracted, close the door, and rotate the thumb turn to lock and unlock the door several times. The bolt should extend and retract smoothly. If the deadbolt drags, adjust the strike or door jamb for better alignment. Next, test the touchscreen from the outside. With the bolt retracted, close the door. Don't lock yourself out. Make sure to take the key with you while testing the lock from the outside. Now, press the Schlage button. The keypad light should come on and the bolt should extend and lock the door. Now, with the door locked, press the Schlage button. The backlight will come on, but the bolt shouldn't retract. If you hear the bolt retract, there's an installation error. Next, press the Schlage button, then enter one of the 4-digit default access codes found on the front of the user guide. The bolt should retract and unlock the door. If any of the tests failed, consult the troubleshooting section of your user guide or contact Schlage for advice. You did it! You're done! Your installation's complete. And your new Schlage Sense Smart Deadbolt is ready to use. You may choose to manage and control your lock using only the touch screen, or for a full feature experience, you can pair the lock with your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch and enjoy the additional features available through the Schlage Sense app and Apple HomeKit technology. Pairing your lock is easy. Just keep in mind that once you pair the lock to your phone, all the functions are then managed through the application, and any access codes added through the lock's touchscreen will be deleted. To pair the lock to your mobile device, first, make sure your Bluetooth is turned on. You can do this by swiping up from the bottom of the screen and activating the Bluetooth icon, or going into your system settings to turn it on. Next, launch the Schlage Sense app. Accept the terms and conditions if prompted, and select Add a new lock. Name the location where your new lock was installed. Then, select the lock that you want to pair. When selected, the lock on your door will beep and flash lights, confirming the connection. Locate the HomeKit setup code from the front of your user guide. Select Pair Lock, and then enter the number when prompted. When the app advances to lock the main screen, you've successfully paired your lock. Now you're ready to explore the many features of your lock and app, such as the alarm settings or adding access codes. Your Schlage Sense app is full of resources and helpful information. If you need additional help, you can find us on the web or give us a call. Thanks for watching, and thanks for choosing Schlage.